But mangroves are, we all know, the salt-tolerant vegetation that grows in intertidal regions of rivers and estuaries, adapted to live in harsh coastal conditions like high salinity, anaerobic soil conditions, loose muddy substrata. So all very hostile conditions. They contain a complex soil filtration system and complex root system to cope with the saltwater immersion and wave action. They are adapted to the low oxygen conditions of waterlogged mud. Mangroves are one among the most productive ecosystem on the earth. Mangroves serves as a breeding, feeding, and nursery grounds for most of the commercial fishes, mollusks, and crustaceans on which thousands of people depend for their livelihood. Mangroves give protection to the coastline and minimize disasters due to cyclones and tsunami. Recent studies have shown that mangroves store more carbon dioxide than most other forests. They are the most carbon-rich forest in the coastal ecosystem. They even can arrest the fury of cyclones. They can arrest the speed of the cyclone by, if it is 300 kilometers or 200 kilometers, they can arrest by below 100 kilometers or like that. They can store carbon like a sink, and they can sequester more than 10% of the tropical forest area. 1 hectare of mangrove absorbs 187 tons of carbon dioxide daily, valued at $748 US. That will come around 60,000 in Indian currency. Then a recent study in the Kadalundi bird sanctuary by the CMFRI, they showed that about 183 tons of carbon dioxide is sequestering in that 1 hectare area for almost for a year. Then mangroves prevent clean acidification and prevent ocean acidification and coral bleaching also. The mangrove occupies less than 1% of the world's surface and are seen in the tropical areas or subtropical areas, spreads over almost 20 million hectares in 124 countries in the world. 41% of the mangroves are in the South and Southeast Asia, and 10% in Australia, 27% in America, and 7% in Africa. Then in the last 50 years, more than 50% of the mangroves are declined in all areas. A state-wise analysis of the mangroves of India showed that most of the mangroves are seen in the east coast. That is, about 60% of the mangroves occur in the east coast along the Bay of Bengal, where the larger rivers like Ganga, Brahmaputra, Krishna, Godavari, Kaveri, Mahanadi drains. Then only the 27% are in the west coast, and 13% in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So most of the mangroves are in the east coast and mainly seen in the West Bengal area. That is only because of the Sundarban mangroves. That is almost half of the Sundarban mangroves are in Indian state and other half in the Bangladesh state. And in Kerala, the Kerala scenario is different. Kerala, we don't know correct exact mangrove areas in Kerala. Still, there is a confusion. Actually, in 1975, Glasgow recorded around 700 square kilometers from the Kerala coast, and in 1991, Chandaba Shah of KFRA, he reported only 17 square kilometers from the Kerala state. Then in the 2004, SES made a study, that is by Muhamed. He recorded 42 square kilometers, and a very recent study by the Kerala Shastra Parishad in 2014. But is, I think there was a more reliable study that they used the volunteers from across Kerala with the help of Panchayat people and other things. They estimated about 25.5 square kilometers from the Kerala side. Then a recent survey by the Wildlife Trust of India with the help of Anakonda Kandal project, they recorded 15 square kilometers from the Kannur district itself. So, according to FSI, Forest Survey of India, a recent status survey report showed that Kerala is having only 9 square kilometers. So, still it is not clear how much areas are in Kerala state. Then recently, the good thing happened in the forest department has notified among the mangrove areas, out of these 17 or 25 square kilometers, most of the areas are in the private land. So recently, Forest Department has notified nearly 300 acres of mangroves under government land as reserve forest. In Kannur district, only they are notified to 36 hectares, Kasaragod 54 hectares, and Thrissur 3.35 hectares, and in Calicut district also they are doing. And we know that two product areas in Kerala in the mangrove areas, that is Kaduvandi Vallikkunna Community Reserve, that is having 150 hectares of mangroves, and Mangalavanam Bird Sanctuary that we are having 2.74 hectares. And district-wise, as per the Mohan report, district-wise mangrove area show that Kannur district is having the more area, that is 3,500 species, that is 3,500 hectares. That is almost 40 or 50% of the mangrove area of Kerala. More than that, I think that most of the mangroves are in the northern part of Kerala, that is north of Kozhikode district. And next is, I think the next largest area is in Ernakulam district. In Pallam and Alapi, almost all the mangroves are vanished. And the plant diversity, there are about 16 species of mangroves are recorded from the true mangroves are recorded from the Kerala. The true mangroves in the sense, typical mangrove species usually have pneumatophores or breathing roots, silk roots, knee roots, viviparous germination, xerophilous leaves, and salt excretory glands. About 50 species of true mangroves are known from the world. Of these, 34 are reported from India and 16 from Kerala. Out of 16, Rhizophora family is dominated with 7 species. Then the Acandaceae 3 species, 2 species from Euphorbiaceae and Lythraceae, and 1 each from Comelaceae and Combretaceae. So we are having only 16 true mangroves in Kerala. This is a now we can see the what are all the species, true mangroves available in the Kerala. Is one of the important species is the Rhizophora mucronata, blue root mangroves or red mangroves or Asiatic mangrove. In Malayalam, it is called Peakandal or Brandangandal. It's a widely distributed species. The tree has a large number of aerial silk roots, betters in the trunk. That is the most important character of the species. And the one of the important thing is that the drumstick-like seeds are viviparous and start to develop while still attached to the tree. That is, we are germinating from the seed itself. So it's very easy to propagate, and the forest department is using this plant for the maximum afforestation program in the mangrove afforestation program in the state. Not only in the Kerala, in everywhere this species is using as a afforestation for afforestation purpose. Another species, the Rhizophora, is the Rhizophora apiculata, the tall street mangrove. Malayalam, it is Kayakandal or Vallikandal. Vallikandal because the tree has a prominent arching stilt roots that can extend 5 meters up the stem. Often also with lots of aerial roots emerging from the branches, so that the tree appears to have a skirt of roots under the leaves. So it looks like a valli. That's why it is in Malayalam, it is Vallikandal. This is a very not a common species. It's uncommon in Kerala, reported in very few places in Kerala. Another Rhizophora family member is the Brigaria cylindrica. We have, I think, three species of Brigaria in Kerala. There's a white Burma mangrove. In Malayalam, it is called the Kuttikandal. This is having a small hypocotyle, that is seed. Fruit is having only 15 centimeter or 20 centimeter in length. These are also mainly seen in the Malabar area in the north of Thrissur or like that. And Brigaria gymnorrhiza is mainly seen in the south of Ernakulam only, Ernakulam, Kottayam, Alapi side. And this is called Anakonda in Malayalam because just like a fountain pen, length also the same, 10 or 15 centimeter long. And it's having a sepals having a shiny red color, and sometimes it is having the shade of orange or reddish. That is why in English it is called large leaf orange mangrove. Then Brigaria example is an extremely rare species. It is reported only from the 3 districts, that is in Ernakulam, first reported from the Ernakulam, Then from the Kasaragod area, the big population is reported from the Malappuram, Palluni area of the Malappuram. That is also in a private area. So this species are highly endangered. We can tell like that in Kerala, this species is highly endangered. In English, it is called upland river mangrove, and Malayalam it is Anakonda because of the sepals and the flowers are in the golden yellow color. And Candela Candle also another rare mangrove species, narrow-lived Candela. Eluthani Candle because this is very slender and like a Eluthani of Eluthani like very slender and long. This is also very rare and reported from very few places in Kerala. Candela Candle is having the buttress. Another extremely rare species is a tagal mangrove, Serious tagal. It is available in only in one place in Palot. This is called in Malayalam. It is called Anakonda. So very few plants are there in that area. So these are the very rare species: Vigera sexangula, Serious tagal, and of course Candela Candle. It's a widespread species available in almost all the riverine or estuarine areas of the Kerala state, and this is in English it is called grey mangrove or Indian mangrove, and Malayalam it is Uppatti or Upputti or Upputa because of this salt secreting glands on the leaves. You can see the salt crystals on the leaves, the white spot specks. You can see that is a salt crystals. They will secrete or vomit salt through the salt secreting glands. This is having the breaking roots that is called pneumatophores. One mature plant is having more than 200 to 300 pneumatophores around the stem. This is having 20 to 25 centimeter length, just like a pencil. It is showing. Another related species, the Abyssinia marina, popularly called white mangrove, Churupatti or Chakapu. They can be distinguished from the Abyssinia officinalis by its pale yellow-green leaves and small flowers, and of course small pneumatophores. Pneumatophores may be having 10 to 15 centimeter long. And you can see the salt secretions or salt crystals on the underside of the leaf. Mostly these species are seen in front of the estuarine friend or near the eye saline areas. Another beautiful species is the river mangrove, Aegis corniculatum. This is popularly called Pukandal. And this is well known for the script of vivipary. Soneracia alba is also not rare, but still is an uncommon species. You can see that the white flower with a lot of sepals, popularly called mangrove apple because of this apple-like fruit, and you can see the starry sepals. That's why it is called Nakshatra Kandal in Malayalam. Related species, the Soneracia cassularis, that is the mangrove apple. Again, we can call it as mangrove apple. The only difference is the red flower with a lot of sepals, and these are also you can see the fruit like just like a apple, like green colored fruit. It is edible. Even the leaf is edible. Leaf is directly you can eat it as a green salad. In Malayalam, it is called Chakara Kandal. Widely used it as a cattle feed also. Another rare mangrove is the Luminisa racemosa. It is available only in Kollam and in one part of Kannur district, that is in Payyanur. Payyanur, we have a very small patch with a few plants. We can tell like some 20 to 40 plants are there. And in Kollam, I don't know what is the status of the species. This again is a very rare species. In English, it is called white flowered black mangrove. In Malayalam, Adakandal. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can proceed, sir.
Okay. Any problem?
Please unmute Lakshmi Priya. Please unmute Lakshmi Priya. Please mute Lakshmi Priya. Please.
Another common mangrove plant species is the Escacoria agalacha. blind your eye mangrove because of the milky secretions from the tree. If you break open the stem or leaf, the milky secretions will come. It will affect. It's a poisonous secretions. It will affect if you fall on the eyes means it will blind your eye also. So that's why in English name it is blind your eye mangrove, and in Malayalam actually named it as a kannambatti. These are having separate flower. Male flower is having the cattle-like flower, and the female is very small green flowers. You can see the cable-like root system of this Escogoria agalocha. In some places, it is used for making cork. Another Escogoria species is a mock willow. It's an extremely rare species. It is available only in local area of Trivandrum. Very few plants are there in that area. Escogoria agalacha. And probably this is one of the commonest species or the pioneering species in the mangrove ecosystem. In English it is called sea holly and chullikandal or madalamollo in Malayalam. These are Neelakuringi of mangroves. In during March or April, you can see the blooming of the species in mass. So we can call it as a Neelakuringi of mangroves. Nipa fruticans is the only palm species reported from the Kerala, but it is now locally extinct. Earlier it was reported from the Paravur area of Kollam. Now you can see a few plants in Chetuva area of, that is a planted one, not a natural population. So we terminate the entire Nipa palm population in Kerala. So it's locally extinct. You can tell it as locally extinct. Then a lot of mangrove associated plant species are reported from Kerala. That is around more than 50 species of mangrove associates are reported from Kerala. In that, some of the climber species are the common derries trifoliata. You can see plenty of plant of this common derries everywhere in the mangrove. And another species is derries candle. It's not that common, but you can see in some places blooming. Full blooming is normally in the rainy season, especially in July. You can see the mass flowering during that season. In Malayalam it is called Pinalivalli. Then another species, another climber species, the Ipomia campanulata, popularly called in Malayalam it is Manivalli. A large white flower you can see in the twilight hours only. It says night flowering species. And another species, another climber is Ipomia brusca, mostly seen in the estuarian or sandy estuarian area. Beach morning glory in Malayalam Achadambu or Kudrapalandan or Adambuvalli. We can tell that Adambuvalli. This is Strudby climber. There is a Silpenia nuga, Anilki or Artibaranda. This is also very common in some of the mangrove areas. This is the only mangrove fern available in our mangrove ecosystem. Mostly seen as a secondary area where the mangrove destruction happened, or the backside of the mangrove or in the wetland area. Acrosticum aureum. And this is the edge plant normally seen in the edges of the mangrove. These are called Atumulla or Pulamulla or wild jasmine. Wakamaria, initially it was Clerodendron inerne, now it is Wakamaria. This is a tree normally available in the southern part of Kerala, not that common in the northern part of Kerala, especially associated with mangrove or wetland. This is the species of Papinia, Uvaresh. Another species is the hibiscus, same from the time family, hibiscus tiliaceus, so beach hibiscus. This also not common, but you can see in many mangrove areas of Kerala. Of course, it's a very common species, Cerebra odola. You can see it in the mangroves as well as wetland areas. And another tree species, the Dolichantron spatacea, Neopongilium or Samudrakam, and Morinda citrifolia, popularly called the noni plant. This is also available in mangroves as well as in the terrestrial ecosystem also. Then Anona glabra is the I think this species is very common in Kottayam and Kumaragam, that area, and nowadays it is available in the northern part of Kerala, we could see many plant species in Kannur mangroves also. Carintona racemosa is the last trees you can see in many places in Kottayam or Ernakulam, not seen in Malabar part of Kerala. Adisi, limited two species of Adisi also reported from the mangrove areas of Kerala. And Perna latifolia, it is highly nectar plant. It is having lot of nectar and flowers. It will attract lot of insects to the area. So I think two species of Perna are available: Perna latifolia and Perna serratifolia in the mangrove wetland areas of Kerala. This is beach cabbage, normally available in the beaches or associated with the estuarian beaches area of, like popularly called Vellamodagam, Scabiola sericae. Then another one species also available in Kerala. These are the sedges. Sedges are a very important group found along with the mangrove or mangrove, you can call it mangrove associate, main mangrove associates. A lot of species are available in the mangrove ecosystem. There is straw-like stem that can be used for making traditional handicrafts, like you can make it as some kind of mat for baby. They will make it as a omanapaya. Then for the others, they will make it as some other paya. So a lot of mat is made from the these sedges. Then fish traps are made of these sedges. Then again, lot of wide variety of baskets like pachakuria, pukuria, then Minguria, Cheminguria, like that. Many type of baskets are made of these sedges. Locally called this as potapullu. There are a lot of varieties of potapullu are there. Potapullu, the pai pota, mula pota, chandra pota, like the urni pota, like the many potas are there in mangrove area. You can see that mainly you can see immediately after the monsoon, large stretches of these sedges in the mangrove areas. The mangrove, this is a mangrove food chain, or the food chain of a mangrove forest relies heavily on the recycling of detritus made by the falling of leaves of the trees. In a mangrove area, 1 hectare of mangrove area annually, you can expect 8 to 10 tons of leaf litter. 8 to 10 tons of litter means that can be degraded by mostly immediately after the falling. That can be degraded by or eaten up by the small sesame crabs. So these sesame crabs are the special engineers, or you can call it as a keystone species in the mangrove ecosystem. They can clear off, they can cut the leaves, and some part they will eat, and some other part they will take to the burrows. And mostly these burrowing crabs or cascopods and other species of crustaceans, these are helping to degenerate or decay in the mangrove leaves. So after the decay started, many of the microorganisms will come, like bacteria, virus, fungus, mites, nematodes. Everything will come. There's lot of marine fungi, marine fungus and algae are all available in this ecosystem. So the phytoplanktons will come, then again phytoplanktons to the energy flow from that microorganisms to phytoplanktons, then zooplankton, small fishes, big fishes, then ultimately into the birds, and the energy flows will go like that only. So the primary producer is a mangrove leaf only. So the mangrove leaf, that litter fall, that carries that energy that flow through the entire ecosystem. So in a year, from a 1 hectare, the productivity or the biomass will be the more than 75 tons. So in a evergreen forest, for a 1 hectare evergreen forest, we are getting annually like 80 tons of. In a Saranda Valley forest, we are getting the 80 tons of biomass. But whereas in the mangrove area, we are getting 75. So the evergreen forest and the coastal evergreen forest like mangrove are equally important, and we should conserve mangrove as well. These are the habitat features. You can see that it's muddy substratum. If you take the muddy one teaspoonful of mud, you can see more than 10 lakhs of microorganisms in a small teaspoon of mud. So that much organisms are raised in the mangrove area. So you can see the pneumatophores also. In these pneumatophores, during the high tide, most of the fishes, crustaceans, prawns, shrimps, mollusks, everything, all larval forms, everything will come and play inside this garden. Actually, this is a garden. You can tell like that's a garden. So mangroves means much more than trees. You can see the lot of animals also. So the biodiversity is you cannot, because in a small area you can see millions of animals. So this is the polychaete ones are the most important benthic fauna available in the mangrove ecosystem. More than 1,000 species are recorded from the mangrove ecosystem in India. In Kerala, we have 34 species of polychaete worms are available. These are mostly these worms are good prey base for the migratory shorebirds, fishes, and a lot of other organisms. And another important species in a group is sardine crabs. I think in India we have more than 700 species, but in mangrove areas of Kerala, I think so far I think 20 plus species are recorded. Among them, these sesame crabs are the most important group. You can tell it as a prison species or the social engineers in that ecosystem. They are the important component in the mangrove ecosystem. Immediately after the litter falling, leaf falling, they will take into the burrows, or they can simply tear off the mangrove leaf. In a day, they may consume about, not fully, they may consume about 80 to 100 leaves per day also. So this is the latest addition to the mangrove crab. This is a Leptama biju that is located in the mangrove areas of Kasaragod. Then Leptama biju is named after our Dr. A. Biju Kumar, professor of Kerala University. So in honor of him, that is named after this species. This is Leptama biju. These are the young ones of crabs. This is from the Kadalundi mangrove area. As you can see, a lot of crab species are in that. The fiddler crabs, many species, all colorful, yellow, golden yellow, orange, purplish. Many species of this Euca genus. You can see in the mangrove areas of Kerala, popularly called fiddler crabs. In Malayalam, it is Pichali. And many species of hermit crabs that we don't know. You can see many species of hermit crabs in the mangrove ecosystem, and ghost crabs also mainly in the estuarine or beach area. This is the most important mangrove crab. We can call it as the mud crab or mangrove crab. Actually, two species are common in our coast: Scylla serrata and Scylla trambibarica, and one more species is Scylla olivacea. These are the most important component of a mangrove ecosystem. And many species of mollusks are reported from the mangrove ecosystem. In a recent study by the ZSI, we reported 34 species of mollusks from the mangrove ecosystem of Kerala. This is the most important one, the common telescope, telescopium. This you can see in hundreds in a small mangrove area. These are the path of these gastropods, and many species of bivalves. This is a Meritus notus, one of the commonest species. Then Villorita cyprinodis is a black species. Then Taphia malabarica. And then short nectarons mainly available in the Ashtamudi and Kollam area. Anadara granulosa is the largest species. And these are the edible oysters. Edible oysters, Crassostrea medrasens. Two species are available: the Crassostrea pupulensis and the Puculata, Crassostrea puculata, and Crassostrea medrasensis. Mostly it is available in northern part of Kerala, where the mangroves are maximum, especially in Kannur or Kasaragod district, even in Calicut district. This is from the Kadalundi Especially people are collecting the edible oysters. Locally they call it as muru arachi. The barnacles also, what is this? Barnacles also available in the ecosystem. More than 10 species of prawns are available in the mangrove ecosystem. The most common is Metapenes dobsoni and Metapenes finis, and many species are breeding in the estuarine environment, and the young ones, their larval forms, all spend their lives in the mangrove ecosystem. Then fishes, I think that fisheries potential all conservations are as already told. And in Kerala, I think most of the fishes, most of the estuarine fishes are breeding in the mangrove ecosystem, and most of their young ones, larval forms are surviving in the mangrove ecosystem. See, this is from the mangrove ecosystem. Kannur, you can see many pearl spot in that, or karimine, lot of karimine within half an hour they collect more than 1 or 2 kg of this pearl spot. They go and use the cast net in the mangrove area only. Mainly they will get rid of fishes there only. You can see these are the main fishes, mallets and the pearl spot. Reptilia, among the reptilia we have 14 or 15 species of reptiles in the mangrove area. The most common is the southern clubshell turtle, that is or Vallama or Palama, subshell turtle, and another species, Indian panda, that is widely distributed. And rarely we get in the mangrove areas of Calicut, we got, and again in Kasarpur, we got in Jan. The soft shell turtle, that is Piloculus pectori, is a Schedule 1 species and highly endangered, and it is available only in very few specimens, not from very few localities. And marine turtles, of the 4 species of marine turtles, mainly the lily turtles live near the mangrove ecosystem where the beaches are available. So now the is highly declining. Earlier in Kalavipalam mangrove area in Cornicer district, in early 90s, they got almost 60 to 62 nesting sites in a year, but nowadays they are getting only 1 or 2 nests in a year. Mostly they breed during the September or December. Then 4 species of snakes, mainly the duck-faced water snake is found in the mangrove area. Cerebrus ringops and the Kerala mud snake, that is Eolissus dicimeri. And yellow-bellied sea snake is very rare. This is a pelagic species, but rarely reported from the mangrove. Then hook sea snake, again this is a sea snake only, but it is reported from the mangrove ecosystem. We terminated this giant, the largest of all living crocodiles, that is the estuarine crocodile, saltwater crocodile, but it was Royal Madragal, but we terminated from the Kerala, I think some 80 years back. It was very common in the mangrove areas of Kerala, all along Kerala, but we totally exterminated the species. Now it is extinct in Kerala. That's the only species of frog available in the mangrove stretches are the saline environment, or the Euphrates and Euphrates, or skipper frog, the Palattavala, and of the 500 odd species of birds recorded from Kerala, I think around 200 species are reported from the mangrove ecosystem. Out of these, I think 75 species are migrants, mostly the shorebirds, gulls, and terns. They are all coming from the Palearctic countries, from Siberia and some part of Europe, beyond Himalayas. So you can see that a lot of gulls, terns, that are all coming from the distant areas of other part of the country. Then most of the birds are using these mangrove areas as nesting places, especially water birds. This grey heron is rarely nest in Kerala, but now you can see many nests in the in Kannur area, Kalasheri mangroves of Kannur district. Then white-bellied sea eagle is a very rare eagle that is only reported from Kannur and Kasaragod district. That is only because of the mangrove, estuarine, or sea that complex. I think that because of that landscape, they are striving in that area. Now there is a good population of these white bellied seals are available in these two districts. That is around 25% white bellied seals are available in this area. Then out of under around 96 species of terrestrial mammal species reported from Kerala, 13 are from the mangrove area. This is the most important, is a apex predator in aquatic ecosystem. That is our smooth-coated otter, Nirnaya. It's the only species available in Kerala. But unfortunately, the population is declining like anything. It's because of only because of the high demand in for the pelt, the skin. It is exported to foreign countries for making the high quality leather bags. This is from the Kumaragam area. You can see the pelt spotting. Next. And another rare mammal species, the fishing turtle, that is recorded only from two places in Kannur district. That is also from a mangrove area. Another one is the jungle cat. Jungle cat is very common. Is a main refuge is our mangrove area. And in the cat family, we have only the jackal, urinary, that is also available in cities and urban environment. They are having the only refuge is a mangrove area. And the most important one is the flying fox. Flying fox, now we know that after Nipah and the coronavirus, they are treating it as a culprits, but this poor animal, now they are having the only refuge. They are all roosting in the mangrove locations in Kannur district, in many places. I have seen in many places. In Talasheri mangrove, recently they colonized in thousands. And again in Valapatanam area, now recently they colonized like in thousands. And endomofauna of mangrove is not well studied in Kerala. We have many species of aminocurans. Recently in Jadasai, somebody studied mangroves of Telko district. They recorded 34 species of was from the area. And many bee species are also reported during the study. A lot of ants are there, a lot of butterflies are visiting. And one butterfly, this common owl is breeding on the Derry's trifolia. This is the only food plant known for the species. Then, in strict sense, no dragonflies are breeding in the saline water, but you can see many dragonflies. In a report, in a study by Zadeza again, we reported 54 species of dragonflies in Mangrove Kannur district. And a lot of spiders are also there in the mangrove. We made a study in Calicut and again in Kannur. We could record more than 50 species of spiders in the ecosystem, and out of this 50, I think 2 species are new to science. And threads, we all know that our mangroves are declined like anything in the last 50 years only. So during the early 90s, the intensification of the aquaculture, especially the shrimp farming in Kerala, lot of mangroves gone during that period, early 90s, 92, 93 period. You see in my Calicut that is very much within the city, Potuli mangroves. This is a sacred mangrove area in Kannur, that is Thalekau Takumbadu. It's a 18-hectare sacred mangrove. It's the only sacred mangrove in Kerala, probably in India. That has been cleared for making the tourism activities there. Now they are making roads and cycle path, even concrete bridges. Everything is coming that area by clearing the rich mangrove areas of the now everything is coming to mangrove only. All the garbage, everything is in the mangrove roads. Now these are the encroachment. You could see that especially the coconut palms. The saplings they will easily plant inside the mangrove area or wetland area. Slowly they will encroach the place. Like this, the areas are encroaching. This recent one only. This is again from the Tamil history only. And tourism. Tourism also, without, in good sense, if they are doing for the mangroves means it's okay, but in Kannur district, one mangrove eco park came in 10 years back, that is constructing lot of construction within the mangrove area, within the mangrove, especially on the nematophores and other things. So it's a very destruction to the mangrove area. And we have many laws, many laws. At least I think 6 laws are there for protecting the mangroves. Mangroves of Kerala. The most important one is the Coastal Regulation Zone Act, notified in the year 1991. But still, we cannot consider the mangrove with this. You could see the tourism in a good way, that is in Malaysia or Singapore. We are doing the tourism in a good way. Now in Chetu also we started in Kadalundi, we started tourism. Now a lot of mangrove afforestation programs are there by the Forest Department with the help of UN and World Bank. Now many of the areas, especially in Northern Kerala, you can see the one area in Talisheri, that is an abandoned island. Nothing was there at that island. It's a newly formed island, in fact. But the Forest Department has planned a lot of mangroves in that area saplings. Now it has become a climax after 20 years. It has become a climax mangrove ecosystem. Now a lot of students are interested in mangrove afforestation program. This is the coastal sacred guru in Kannur district, Tarekau. Takumbal, you can see the old picture. Now you can see the new picture after the renovation. Now they have cleared everything. The old structure they removed. Even when the wetland area is that also they reclaimed in front of the mangrove area. Now, without telling this man, he was instrumental for the awareness. Now we can call it as a ambassador of mangroves in Kerala or mangrove man of Kerala. That's Kallan Pakudan. He is also from Kannur district. During early 90s, he planted a lot of mangroves. That is more than 3,000 mangrove saplings in his village, without knowing without any recognition or anything. He made it, and he is instrumental for the awareness of mangrove awareness program in Kerala. I think son Anandan Master is talking tomorrow with you people. Yes, there is lots more to mangroves than just trees. Mangroves is not just trees; it is a magical ecosystem. Thank you.